get a lot of, not you particularly, but there's like a lot of somewhat criticisms of Pattaya because of the nightlife and other things. And stuff, you see a lot of videos about, men being scammed and, played and everything like that. Do you think, in your opinion, you can find genuine love here in Pattaya?
Oh, absolutely. I think here, because of the laid back culture, guys kind of slip a little bit and do things, or let's just say date women that they wouldn't even date back at home.
Mm.
Us as men, we kind of have a general rule. We know, hey, don't date girls who work in the strip club. That's kind of always been a general rule. But guys will come here and they'll date a girl that works in that same type of environment and expect kind of a different result. It doesn't work like that. If you're gonna, first of all, if you're gonna have success, you really need to be here. One of the big problems is with dating some of the girls here is they don't believe you're coming back. A lot of these girls have been lied to, up, down, and so after a while, they stop believing guys when they say, "Oh, I'm coming back," or the guy comes back with a different girl, or now he's got put pictures on Facebook with some Filipino girl, something like that. So it definitely can be found here, but you got to look in the more traditional places. Try meeting a girl at the gym, meeting a girl who works at one of the restaurants or who works for the hotel. Most of the time, they'll have some amount of English that they're used to. When you're going to these clubs and bars, it's just like in the U.S. It's not always the best people for you to date in those environments, in those areas.
Okay. Okay. Have you personally heard any like horror stories? I know like my neighbor was telling me that, I think he got his house took or something like that out there in Easton. Have you heard anything too crazy?
I mean, most of my stuff is like, business disputes, stuff like that, or the relationship ends and there's dispute about money and stuff like that. Absolutely have heard horror stories, but I've also heard success stories. For me, a lot of the horror stories, there's always usually something in that story that was red flags that the guy kind of ignored. Like I said, a lot of people want to talk about the horror stories, but there's also, great stories. You go up north, there's plenty of guys, foreigners, they got a nice little house, nice little piece of land. They're out there, they might have a kid or two. They're happy, they're chilling. They're living a good life. So it's unfair to talk about one side without talking about the other side. It's really about who you pick, where'd you meet them, how much time did you take before you started showing money, that type of stuff.
Okay. And I always ask this question to guys I interview because I know it changes with, the person who interviews. But what do you think a minimum budget should be if you're trying to live here in Thailand? Should it be $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month? And I understand that it depends on the person's lifestyle. But what would you say, from your experience, would be the minimum?
I would say to live comfortable over here, $2,400 a month. I think that's a good number to kind of cover your motorbike rental, your visa at the end of the year. Just getting around, being able to go out and not being stuck in the house because you ain't got no money. Pay rent. I think $2,400. If you're single, I think that's a good budget. Now if you get a girlfriend or a wife, you might have to adjust that a little bit. So
always, no matter where you are on the planet.
Right. There's there's a cost.
Yeah.
That's why we're expected to be the protectors and providers. So
I'm really glad you mentioned that, man, because I think some guys in the States, to a certain degree, because of some of the content creators, they think that the women overseas they are different. Culturally, they are very different, but at the end of the day, they still want to be taken care of no matter what.
Mm-hmm. The big difference is if they're taken care of, they're willing to take care of you. And I think that's the part of the conversation that they don't talk about. Women, there's an expense for dealing with women. If you're not that top 5 or 10% guy, tall, has money, muscles and all that kind of, if you don't fit that archetype, women have a cost. I think I came up with an acronym for it one time. It was called like STEAM or something like that. It was like time, energy, money, health, meth. That's what I called it. Money, energy, time, and health. Women are going to cost you something. You know what I'm saying? It may be your health because she may be stressing you out every day. You know what I mean? She may make good money. She may never ask you for money, boom, boom, boom. But she may be irritating as hell to deal with on a day-to-day basis. You know, energy. Some women, you know, she may not need your money, but she needs you to always be there for her.
Facts.
You don't get, you know what I'm saying? You don't get time to go watch a game. You know, it's always something, hey, can we go to the store? Hey, can you move this? Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Can you do that? You know, time, none of us can get time back. So, you know, that's self-explanatory. So they have a cost. It just is what it is. Now, what you got to worry about is the ROI, return on that cost. You know what I'm saying? Is she putting enough into your life to make your life better or happier, to make it worth you giving up that time, energy, or money?
Okay, man. Well, bro, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
That's good seeing you again, man. Glad you're still enjoying yourself out here, and I'm glad, you know, Patty's still taking care of you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. One more question. If there was like, let's say a young guy, in the States, he sees this interview, he sees the lifestyle that you're living, still young, everything, got your own business. What could you suggest to him to live a similar lifestyle? Let's just say he's like between 18 and 25 or something, in and out of school, just the average American guy.
I'd say take your time and be patient. A lot of us kind of messed up trying to take shortcuts, trying to take easy routes. The money's going to come when the money comes. Don't rush yourself to get out here and stop your growth financially. I say, especially while you're young, if you're 18, 20, you should be working at least a job and a half. Even if that other job is working on yourself, like, taking some type of trade in the background or whatever, while you're young, while you have energy, while you can do those, nights where you sleep 6 hours and get up and go back to work and do another 10, 12-hour shift with no problem. Because when you get 40, 50, or 12-hour shifts is hard. And when you get to that point in life, you don't want to have to work 60 hours to maintain. You want to be, if you work 50, 60 hours, you want that other, 10, 20 hours to go towards something that you want, whether it's a trip, a vacation, a Harley, Chargers, Jordans, whatever. You want your extra money to go to that stuff, not your main source of income. Max out your 401s if you got them. If your company matches, max out. Whatever, the extra $20, $30, $40 a month, after a while, you won't miss it. So that'd be probably where I would go with advice.
Thanks for that. All right, brother. Appreciate you coming on.
Be safe. So here at Kickin' Chicken, we got our traditional, kind of Thai drink menus where we got our slushies, our smoothies, our Italian soda teas, stuff like that. So more of our smoothie menu, more of our drinks. We have more of our, our sodas and stuff like that, beer, stuff like that on this menu. We also started doing coffee drinks. So we kind of got this little cafe Kickin' Chicken thing going on now. Now here's the our number one thing is our wings. Lemon pepper. Everybody's been loving them. For my guys up north, the buffalo wings, of course. The chicken and waffle, stuff like that. They move very, very well out here. So very happy about that. Then we kind of have some of our sides, our French fries, our nuggets, our candy yams. That's definitely a favorite too. And the onion rings. All right. Now some more of our kind of more favorites from when we first started on. But for the people who want to be a little healthier, we got some salads. Then we go, of course, right here. We got the chicken and waffles, mac cheese, collard greens, individual waffles. We just in the mood for a waffle. We have our dessert waffle with fresh fruit on it. And we move over here to some more of our newer stuff on the menu. We got the fried pork chop. People are really happy with that. That's been selling very, very well. People are very happy with that. And then we got stuff where if you want to change it up, we have our beef chili. That goes really good on the French fries and also goes really good on the hot dog that we have. The club sandwich, that surprised me. A lot of people have ordered that also. The Caesar salad, people have been happy with that. All right. Then we have like our snack box menu. That's where we have the quesadilla, the chicken quesadilla. Another thing that sells actually very well is the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. And that's something that I think a lot of the cats from Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, from any of the cities in those areas, it's usually popular in that area. We also, do. We also do almost something like kind of like a popcorn shrimp type of thing. For the people who like shrimp, fried shrimp, I definitely say, hey, stop on in and give ours a try. And then here comes some of our, the rest of our menu. We have the sweet potato pies, banana pudding for, you get a sweet tooth. We definitely take care of you. That banana pudding really, really goes hard. As I talked about earlier, the beef nachos.
Wait a minute. That's the donut burger?
We tried the donut burger.
Okay.
It didn't really work for us.
Okay, the Luca burger. Okay.
So the pancake burger definitely worked a lot better for us.
Okay.
So yeah, if you something sweet, something salty, this might be a good place to stop in and check it out. Once again, we have our beef nachos, also really good, and our chicken sandwich. For when you miss that Chick-fil-A back home, stop by and see us.
Chicken sandwich for sure.
I know we have our Thai menu. I'm not super familiar with the Thai menu, but for those looking for Thai food, cooked in a way where it's, not so street foodish, stop on in. We definitely have good Thai food here. Very lucky the lady that we got cooking for us has experience with Thai food, so she definitely take care of you. Right? And then it's just more Thai food at the end.